What's up, everyone? Brian Horning here. I just want to talk to you about a few things that I'm seeing in the cybersecurity space around small businesses, and a couple things that I want to bring your attention to. And I feel very strongly that after this coronavirus pandemic is over, a lot of people's attention is going to be turned to cybersecurity and data protection, especially the government. Governments are already putting things in place right now that are going to really put liability on businesses if they don't do the right thing and protect their customer data. So is your customer data protected? Are you ready for these laws that are coming? Are you able to afford the technology and the expertise that you're going to need to acquire in order to do the things that you have to do to protect data? Data security isn't a one-time thing. It's an ongoing thing that every business is going to have to invest in. Data, computers, technology, everybody knows that it is now becoming the lifeblood of businesses, all businesses. There are very few businesses that can survive without having technology in their business. So it's becoming more and more important for your business to recognize that they have to, if you're not already spending money on technology, you need to spend money on technology. And many of you probably need to spend more money on technology and what you're doing. You can't just go buy computers anymore at Best Buy and throw them in your office and connect them together and hope for the best. That's becoming very old school way of thinking of technology and businesses. That was okay before there were hackers and breaches and a market and economy around monetizing data that has been compromised or stolen. And that's the world that we live in today. And if the business community does not do things on their own, the government is going to step in, as we are seeing, and they're going to start doing this more and more often. So I was checking out a report that was just released by Infrascale, where it said 21% of small businesses don't even have a data backup disaster recovery solution in place. They don't have anything. So they're just not doing anything. So somebody that you're probably doing business with out there at some point in your life, whether that be a small business down the street, your mortgage broker, financial planner, an accountant, a lawyer, somebody out there that you're probably doing business with doesn't give a rat's ass about your data. And they're just leaving it out there for anyone to look at, anyone who can get access to their system, and they'll get your data. And on top of that, they're going, oh, nobody wants to access my system. It's not that big of a deal. You're wrong. They do want to access your system. You're the easy target. They know you're the easy target. They get in, get out, and you would never know they were there. So there's a big issue going on with what CEOs and business owners think is data security. It's all over the map. And this survey I was reading, some CEOs just think it's backup. Some CEOs think it's backup and encryption. Some think it's cybersecurity and malware encryption. I'm gonna give you some breaking news here. None of it is one thing. It's everything. Data protection, data security is you do everything. Now, there's strategies that can be implemented that can reduce your risk, or you may not have to spend so much money on something because your risk to that exposure is not that great. That's why it's important that you work with a professional who understands this stuff, who can evaluate the risk for you and speak to you in business terms as to, if you do this or you don't do this, here's what it could mean to your business. As a CEO, you should understand that. You should have that as something in your business that is told to you on a regular basis, or somebody is feeding you this information or this news or updating you on a regular basis. At a minimum once a quarter, depending on the size of your company, you may want to go even more frequent than that. But it's important that you do it, because there's many different components that go into protecting your business and protecting your data, and depending on what you have, it's different for every business. But I can guarantee you one thing, 100% of the businesses out there need to be concerned with this. I just read an article yesterday that DC implemented, the District of Columbia implemented their own cybersecurity laws and enacted them. Basically, if you have data for more than 50 people that live in Washington, D.C., you are now have to abide by this law, whether or not your business is in DC or not. If they're in your system and there's more than 50, you now have to abide by this law, which is why the DOJ the other day came out and said, hey, we need federally mandated laws around this because we just have a hodgepodge of city and state and local governments putting laws out there that don't match up, they don't make sense, they don't really take care of the problems. And you can check out my other video that I did on the Marriott breach. Some of these laws that I read, the only requirement in the law is that you provide 2 years of credit monitoring, which is a joke. That can't be what we're writing into the laws. But I don't believe that they did that out of any other reason than just to protect the people of the community. The reality of it is that if my data is being traded and my personal information has been compromised and now my identity has been stolen, credit monitoring is little, it does very little for me in that situation, and it's really kind of an afterthought. So when I see governments writing laws on the books that's the requirement, just goes to show me that this isn't being well thought out at the higher levels where this needs to be thought out. The other piece of this is a lot of these laws are just, you must report this to the government type laws, which I also think doesn't go far enough or should be a component to a bigger regulation. But businesses are going to decide whether or not they're going to report something simply because if they think the law enforcement can help them in their situation, they're going to report it. But if they don't, then they're not going to report it. If they don't think the government can help, you're not going to get a report for it. It doesn't matter if you federally mandate the law or not. I see this on a daily basis with companies struggling on whether or not they should report something or not. The government is just seen a lot of times in these situations as a big black hole where you tell them it happened and then nothing ever happens. So with that attitude, businesses are not going to report this stuff like the government would like them to. It's just a fact of life. Unless the government's going to step in and actually use their powers to prosecute and go after these people, and the people of the government can see that actually happening, and they say, oh, when I reported this, the state police stepped in, they went after the criminals, and they got them. Well, that doesn't happen very often unless it's a very high profile hacking, and usually the feds are involved at that point. So that's why the DOJ is right. They did come out and they did say, and I do agree with them, that there needs to be a federally mandated law around this. And something like this can happen pretty quickly. So it's important that you start taking care of it now and start preparing for it now, because this stuff does cost money. In the grand scheme of things, it's not expensive, but it can be expensive if you're not prepared for it. If you're not setting aside funds and a budget for it today, you need to start tomorrow. It's just a fact of life that this is coming. You're going to be federally mandated to protect this information and make sure you're doing everything that you can do as a business owner in order to protect the data. Once you can satisfy that, then it's an ongoing process of evaluating and making sure that you're doing everything that you can. So it's not like you're going to throw money at this one time and then you're going to be done with it. This is something you're going to have to hire somebody, hire a resource, whether it be your own employee or an outside company, like a cybersecurity company. Exact IT Solutions does this. This is what we do for a living. We help companies with compliance and cybersecurity. And we could certainly help your company if you don't already work with somebody, but you're going to have to start working with somebody soon, and you might as well start now because the government's going to make you do it, I guarantee, by the middle of 2021. So reach out to us through our website, xitx.com. You can go to the Contact Us page, reach out to us through there, and we will gladly guide you or help you with any situation that you may currently be facing around cybersecurity or data protection. And leave a comment below. Let me know what you saw of this video or ask any questions that you want. We'll answer those as quickly as possible. And I'll share links in the comments as well, or in the description as well, for the Infrascale report that I referenced in this video. Thank you for watching this video from Exact IT Solutions. And if you like what you saw here today, please give us the video a thumbs up. And if you have any questions or you want to comment about anything that you saw in our video, please do so in the comment section below. And please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. And if you want to get alerted when we upload new videos to the channel, please hit the little alert bell, and hopefully YouTube will notify you when we post new content. Check out the link in the description below for any more information relevant to this video. And if you want to know anything about our services or how we can help your company with IT, please check out our website at xitx.com.